Hey guys, Cindy over paper.old.new. Thanks for stopping by and spending some time with me today. I am, as you can see, I've got all the Appley stuff out. So we are trying to, I'm trying to get into this apple orchard journal. I have my kit printed on my good paper, and I got out this kit that I made. Basically, I'll try and link the video in my description box if you missed it. I took a 12 by 12 pad and I didn't break down the whole pad. I had some left afterwards, but I pulled enough of it that I made a pad into a kit, a journal kit. So I will link that in my description box and you can take a look at it if you're curious. But anyway, so what I'm doing now is I want to get the signatures put together to start. So I have decided that these need, first of all, when I folded them all up, so basically what I did was I folded the pages up, I cut a sliver out, and I made fold up pockets if I want them to be pockets. Or if the paper is not directional, the other thing that you can do is you can turn them over and make them up tucks. So these can go either way. Some of my paper is directional, so I don't have the option. But having said that, when I folded them and I got all these folds in, there's some unevenness to them. As a matter of fact, that one's not even folded at the top even. So what I want to do is trim them. I think I'm trimming them down to, let's measure these. I've already trimmed a bunch of them so that you don't have to sit here and watch me trim a whole ton of pages. So 5 3/4 is where we're going with these. So I'm going to put this here. And we're going to trim about 1/4 inch off the edge to even them up. Okay, so 1/4 inch. We're going to go right here. At some point when I've got all of this worked out, I will have a cutter, like a good cutter up here. I know I showed you guys where I brought some of my big cutters up, but it's hard to set them up right now because everything's still kind of cluttered as I'm making the transition. Why isn't this cutting? That one cut, right? What am I'm catching here for some reason. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, so we just trimmed all that up and evened it up a bit. So we're going to do that with these last 3. And I'm really kind of excited to turn this into a journal because I have, well, you guys know I opened my shop with my apple orchard kit. So this is kind of an homage to the opening of my shop. I will link I'm going to stand up so I can get some more leverage here. I'm thinking I'm going to link I'll try and link some of the relevant videos in my description box. So if you're curious about any of this, you can go and check it out. You'll get an opportunity to kind of see the apple orchard kit as we go. And again, my shop is always linked in my description box. So if you see the apple orchard kit as we're using it and you like it, then you can head on over to my shop and check it out. It still has a bundle kit where I bundled everything together at a discount. It's kind of the only one I've done it with because it was my initial kit. But that bundle is still available. So, and right now there's a sale going on in my shop, so. Man. Okay, so that's all the sheets. Now, what I would like to do, these chairs, this is an office chair that I have. You guys saw it when I did the tour video thing, if you watched it. We'll work on these later. They don't roll very well on carpet. Let's just say that. Okay, let's put this off to the side. Now, as you can see, I've got solids. So we've got solid colors. We've got, is that another one? We've got these patterns. Well, that's another solid. I don't know where I want to classify that. There's kind of a repeating pattern on those. I mean, all of these are repeating patterns, but these have apples on them specifically. So I kind of want to figure out how I want to set this up. How many pages total do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Did I really give myself 13 pages? Oh, and then these. 14, 15, 16. So I must have kind of set this up for 4 signatures. That's probably what I did. So an apple sheet for each signature, a pattern sheet for each signature, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 of these. So I think we're going to do, I think I want to try and do 3 signatures. So this is going to be interesting. I'm going to hold this one off to the side as decorative, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3. Okay? And then everybody's going to get a red. So we'll do red, red, red. And then what I'm thinking is this one can offset these. So 1 will get a green, 1 will get a brown, and 1 will get the plaid. I think we'll do green, brown, plaid. And then we'll do apples, leaves, plaid. No, I don't like that. Plaid. I think I'm going to swap this with this. Like that. And then the leaves here. Yes? That's a very bright red. I'm pretty sure it came in this pack though. Okay. So there's our 4 main pages. The other thing I have to decide is whether or not I'm going to put this journal together with that new style that I have with the soft cover, because if I'm going to do that, then one of these is going to be the cover of the signature, and it's going to have to be flipped inside, which I would probably do with one of the solids. So like take this and go this way with it. And maybe to cut these off. And then for this one, maybe I do burgundy. Wow, that is not wanting to fold, is it? Or it's wanting to fold weird. I'll figure it out later. Okay, and then here I'll do the red. Okay. To tie in more of that red, I may end up using something like this in this one. Just because I feel like it might tie that pink in better. Okay, now we have our papers. Okay. So we have, how many of these with the girls do we have? 1, 2, 3 with the older ladies, I think. 3 with the young girls, I think. And then 3, wait. One, 2, 3 miscellaneous variety pages. And then these should all be journal pages. So journaling space, journaling space, journaling space. Okay, so that's what we call those. And then, of course, I printed on the backs of them. So they all have backs, which is nice. All right, so now let's go through and figure out our method for putting the, let's do the young ladies first. And I'm thinking she's making, This one has a pie on it. I might keep all the pie ones in the same signature. It gives me a place to go with this. Helps me like make a decision on where to put stuff. She's got the baskets, so we'll put her with the apple sheet with the basket in it. Okay, and of course, like I said, I did put something on the backs of these, so if I decided I wanted to turn them the other way, I can. So they don't have to go with the collage pictures on the outside. And then this one we'll put here. Just because this is the only one that doesn't have one yet. Okay, and then for the little girls, this one's got a kitchen. Ooh, this might work out really well because this one's trees and that one's, okay. So we're going to put this one here. And we're going to put this one. Look, I got a gingham sheet to match the curtains. I just thought that was fun. Maybe I'll fold her to the inside. I don't know. Maybe I won't. I haven't figured it out. It's going to depend on what order I put the pages in and what I want put up against what. Okay, and then we'll put this one here. Okay, and this one has the tree on it with the leaves. So I'm not really sure why this was in an apple pad. Those, not for nothing, that looks like poison oak leaves to me. I could be wrong. I'm not great at identifying plants, but I mean, it just looks like random fall leaves in the orchard there. Okay, now we did have a young lady that made cider, and I put her here. So we might put this here. This has a pie on it. It also has the truck, but I don't necessarily want two trucks in this one. So we might put the truck here, and then the barrel there, and the cider here. So we'll do it this way. There's a piece of me that wants to spread some of it out, and then there's a piece of me that likes the idea of keeping it together as a tie-in for each one. Oh, that didn't. It would probably help if I wasn't folding on top of stacks of paper. Okay, is this the cider one? No, this is the apple pink. Yeah, no, she's the cider one. Okay, we're going to put this here. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it... I am going to mix them up a little bit. I'm going to put this one here. And I'm going to put this one with this one. I am going to mix them up a little bit. Just so that there is a, like we said, like a running theme. Okay, so that one will go there. All right, now for the last three, we have this one with the pie, this with the apples, and this with the picnic. All right, so let's figure out what we want to do. So we have, this is the pie paper. Should we bring the pie back to this one? A little bit of a struggle on that one. This one needs some green. I think I might, okay, to start, I think I might put this one in the first signature. This one needs some green. So I'm gonna put this one here. All right. This one needs, what does this one need? They both need red. All right, let's see what the paper, what I've got. I know I'm just kind of, sorry, my thought processes went haywire when these last three didn't fit exactly how I was thinking they would. So now I'm, okay, I think I'm going to put this one here. I know I was going to try and spread the pies out, but I think I want this one here. I'm going to put this one in there. Okay, so that's our signatures. I don't know which one's going to be the first signature, so on and so forth, but this is our signatures. So now what we need to do is stack them and see what other kinds of interesting papers we want to put in here with them. So if I'm going to make this my cover, let's see here. What if I did like that? And then we put this in like that. Okay, and then the plaid. Oh, no. I don't know about that. I'm looking at my opposite sides and seeing what I got. I don't want to like make it totally crazy. So we might go this way, like this. Yeah, that's not so bad. Okay, and then we've got this gold, which we could put this against. I'm kind of alternating them. Okay, sorry about the interruption. Had a little bit of a snafu there. Okay, I'm thinking... Should we do the green against the apples? What do you think? I think that's nice. And then I'm not sure. And then we can do the pie in here. It's kind of an alternating thing. And then I'll go in and stick in, should I have her as my center? Or should I have the gingham as my center and then I can do some sort of center decoration thing? You see, let's flip it over and see. Yeah, I think we'll do the gingham as the center. That way, she's not, the line where the fold is supposed to happen gets sewn. And then that can be one solid piece. The gingham can be one solid piece. Okay, so that's one signature set. Well, semi-set. And as you can see, even though I trimmed the pages, as you can see, there's push out. So more than likely what will happen is this will have to like, I'm leaning toward sewing it together the way I want it if I'm going to make this kind of thing where I glue the signatures together and then do the soft cover, like the hard thing on the soft spine. So my thought is I sew the signature together and then put it on a trimmer and just one of my heavy duty trimmers and then just trim all that off so that it's flush. That may be where I go with that. I'm looking at these and they're not, well, I don't have to worry about it right now. Because like we said, we have a lot of stuff to do. So this is one signature. I don't know if it's the first signature, but it's a signature. Let's see if we can't put this one together. I wanted to get through this one relatively quick so that we could get maybe some of the odds and ends papers in here if I wanted to put any, you know, other stuff. So maybe this in here. What do we think? Okay. And then this one. Now, what do we want against the plaid? Now remember, we have to look at the other sides of these, because I did do... I wonder if it would just be nice to put her against the plaid. Like that. And then this green would fit in here really well with the apples. Okay, and then... Ooh, do I want to put the green on the green? Should we put this on the green? Oh, maybe we'll do this. Yeah, like that. I like that better. Okay. So we'll do like that. And then, like I said, we're alternating, so we'll do the buckets in here. Oh, I do like the way that turned out. So I like the way those go together. Here's a decision I'm going to have to make. One of my options is to cut these off and either turn them around and make them right side up pockets, or glue them down as tucks on either side, which is another option that I might go with. But that'll be something down the road as we... Now, do I want to do again where... I'm not so sure this one would look bad as a center. I don't mind that as a center. Let me see. I'm not sure about that, though. And of course, I have no idea what I'm doing with the white of this, because that's something will get done to that. I may take them downstairs to my mixed media area where I'm not worried about making a mess and coffee dye them and let them dry. See what these look like the other way. Ooh, I actually think I like this better turned this way. So this one might be a center picture and not necessarily a lot done to the page, just a really pretty picture in the center of the thing. So that's that one. Okay. So these are going to turn out, I think these are going to turn out really nice. Okay. So we've got those and our last one. All right, let's separate our pages. Decide on, okay, if I make this my inside, I'm wondering if I could do something. I don't want to put the green against it, because that red and this green together scream Christmas to me. And I know that's horrible to say, but I don't want it to be Christmassy. It's not supposed to be Christmassy. Okay, so like that. All right, and then is there anything else I might want to put there? What about this? What about starting off with a journaling page? I don't know about that. Okay, I think I'm going to do this. I think I like the red on the red. So I think I'm going to just go all in on the red for that. And then I'll try and brighten it up with some other stuff. And then I'm thinking the leaves with the green. And in here, oh, maybe her. Picking the apples. Okay, and we're back to red. Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay, so we'll do that. All right, and then we have the red, which I think we'll do this. Okay, now my thing is this has got a I've got two neutral middles. I do not want to put the neutral with the brown. So whatever this is, it's got to be turned with the picture out. So I'm thinking that. That way there's plenty of color here to offset this tan. Okay, and then this one will go this way and we'll do something with the center. Yeah? I don't know what we'll do with the center, but we'll do something with the center. I think that works out really well. I don't know. This is going to be a new experience. Right now, behind my house, there's a quarry area. It's an old quarry they shut down. And they use it to store like roll-off dumpsters and stuff. And I can hear them dropping some back there. And I don't know if that will come through on my video or not when I edit. So if you do hear some odd banging in the background, that's what it is. Okay, so there's our 3 signatures. Now, oh, we didn't get this piece in. So we have an extra page there if we want to use it. Right? Like that. And then we have these. Okay, now these were pages that I kind of put together. So this has got this on the outside. And then when you open it up, it's got the folder that flips up here and then a tuck here. And then you can do what you want on this side. I was thinking, well, you know what you could do? Wrap around, okay, so this would be a pass-through pocket, and that would be a belly band on the back side, and then I have this for something else in another place. I like that idea. Okay, but what I have to do is I have to take this out of here, and we have to cut it. Because I trimmed all of the pages, so we have to go through and reset these. All right, so we're going to take these fancy pages and we're going to put them together. And then I think as a start, oh, I wanted to look at extra coffee dyed paper and stuff like that. Let's see where we are time-wise, and then I'll see if I want to. Because basically I'm going to cut the So we're going to have to cut these off like this. And I'll confess, I'm saving these strips because I'm thinking about doing some of those those cards where you glue strips next to each other to decorate a card. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing some of those with the cutoff strips for these. Okay, and then what we're going to have to do, because now this is too wide, right? It's not going to affect this piece, but it's going to affect this piece. So I've got to cut this, I've got to trim this off. Yeah, this has got to lose 1/4 of an inch also. Maybe a little more than 1/4 of an inch just to make sure that it doesn't interfere. And then I'll have to do the same thing with the pocket belly band thing that we were going to do. Okay, so that takes that off of there. And then this little guy has to get trimmed. Because I think he's 6 inches. And we got to take 1/4 inch off of that. And then we're going to put one of these together. I'll tell you what, I'm going to cut the other two and I'll be right back. So, but just to show you all the pieces that have to be cut. And then this is the belly band to fit. Okay, so that's one. I'm going to cut the pieces for the other two and I'll be right back. Okay, now, to fit these in the signatures, one of the things I want to do is, first of all, this one right here. I want to look at this one. And I want to say this red is already in here. I don't want this to go in here. So I'm going to put this up here. The other thing is I don't want it to go in with this plaid, which means it can't go in that one. So we're going to put that up there, which means this particular one has to go in here. So let's see where we might want to put this. Now, remember, we put it together by this goes in here like this. Okay. And then this was going to be a wraparound, so it's going to be a belly band on that side, and it's going to be a stacked pocket on this side. So it would go like that. All right. And I don't know. Anyway, so now what we want to do is see where we might want to put this. And you could even put it close to the front. Or I could break up some of this neutral in here. Ooh, it might go. Am I worried about putting cardstock on cardstock? Oh, either way, it's going to be cardstock on cardstock. Your other option is to make this your signature center. So like I have this area in here, I could put it in here, or I could turn it this way. That would make this my center. Do I like that as a center? Not really. Do I like this as a center? I mean, it's a little better depending on how I decorate it. Oh, but I don't like this. Okay, so if you make one of these your center, you see how you can see the gap where you cut? The idea was for that to be hidden when I sew it in. So I probably don't want this to be a center. So I'm thinking the other spot I wanted to put it, would it break up? No, I don't like that at all. How about this? I don't mind that. Okay, and I don't mind that. All right, so we're going to put it in there. And again, we've got, might have to trim that or something. All right, and again, we've got stuff. Now, my issue with this, as you can see, that's sticking out really far. My issue with this is when this gets glued down, if I go to trim these on the edges, it's going to cut this belly band open. So I don't know. Now, who knows? I might be able to solve that problem by, say, if I've got one piece that I don't want to trim and it's going to stick out, I might be able to solve that problem by putting a ruffle on it or something so that it's disguised. Only because I like page ruffles and stuff sticking out. So I might do that to help disguise the edge of that sticking out. The other thing would be to move it further back in the signature. The further toward the center you get it, the further out it pushes. So I could move it in here somewhere. It's not really all that far from I mean, I suppose I could put it in there. I didn't really want it the two that close together. Okay, that one I'm going to have to think about. Okay. My next thought. Sorry, that was taking up a lot of time. Okay, we have the pie in here, right? So I don't want this in here. And also the tan, which we already know is in this signature, which works out great because that means this is going to go in here. So we got that worked out. Now with this one, this might actually fit in, right? It's going to be pink. Okay, let's do this. It's going to have this on the outside. Well, where are you catching? Just go. Sorry, it was catching on itself for some reason. Okay, so that would be out here, like this. Do I mind that? I actually don't because of the apples. Now on the back side, oh, wait. I can put the apple belly band on the outside too. And then this would sit in here. like this. And that actually goes really well with that pink. I'm not upset about that. Okay, and that's toward the middle, toward the outside, so there's not going to be as much pushing out. I mean, it still pushes out, but it's not going to be as much as some of the center ones. So let me see. And it's not even ready to sew together yet, so we still got a long way to go. Well, not a long way, but, you know, I got to put some more paper in here. All right, so, yeah, it's still sticking out pretty good. But I think we can work with it. All right, so that's that one. Okay, and then this one, again, we have to put it together. So this one's going to be with the triangular pocket toward the back of the book and our little belly band toward the front of the book. Well. Won't be difficult. Okay. So let's see where we want to put that. Once again, I could put it here, right at the front. That would still break up the red. And I feel like that would look okay with that, yeah? Okay. The front of the book is the safest place to put it. I like it better with the front than the plaid. What about with the green? No, I don't like that because it's going to be, and I don't like, actually I like it best here. Okay, so this is going to go out here also. Okay, and that closes that in there, and we have our signatures. That's probably going to have to get trimmed. I think it's butting up against the, I don't know. Okay. All right. So that's our thing, right? There. And then I was thinking I would probably put some of these in there. So like these coffee dyed. I really like this splattery one. So I'm thinking it's going to go in there. Do I want one of these in each? I don't know that I want the same pieces of paper in every signature. So, like, what about a regular coffee dyed piece? I think that, because I think there's a signature that doesn't have any beige paper, and I might, like, this has the tan, and this has the tan, and when I go to edit this, I don't know if you'll be able to see what I'm pointing at, but here, I'll just slide these down a little bit so that I know they'll be in the picture. So this signature has the tan, and this signature has the tan. This signature does not. So this would probably go with this signature. Just to make sure I know that. And then the rest of it can be broken up however, but I want to make sure that that gets separated. And then maybe I could use a nice, this is green. Maybe we could use one of these. Okay, and then I don't necessarily want everything to be coffee dyed and journaling and all that. I like lots of journaling space, but it doesn't have to all be, you know. So we'll put, yeah, put that one in there. That means this one's going in here somewhere. Oh, maybe in here. See inside of her page look like? Okay, either or, maybe. Okay, so that's that. I'm just going to tuck this in here so it doesn't get... Okay, so these are our 3 signatures so far, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. I'm really excited to be finally putting a journal together with my own kit. And I hope you'll come back And we will make our way through this and try and put this entire journal together. And I'm so looking forward to it. I will see you guys with the next episode. Make sure that if you like the video, you leave me a thumbs up and hit the notification bell, because I get kind of sporadic sometimes depending on my schedule. And make sure you go over and check out my shop. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.